Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the video, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already and like the video. This week should be volatile, should be a crazy week. High put to call ratio, a lot of things going on. There's not one thing to be bullish about. You got food shortages, you've got the war with Russia and Ukraine, then you have Sweden and Finland trying to get into NATO, and that's going to piss off Russia more, and they're already building up military around Finland, so that's going to probably cause some problems. Then you got monkeypox, and you got the quantitative tightening from the Fed, which hasn't even started yet. I mean, we get all this madness, and the Fed hasn't even started to do anything yet. We have interest rates going up here and there, so a lot going on. Bad ER, earnings season is not exciting anymore, so there's not one thing to be bullish about. The green candles we get are going to end up being short squeezes to cool off RSIs and stuff like that. So not one thing to be bullish about. So short the pops until something happens. I think we're going to have a very, very crazy week. Looking at the economic calendar, we have Powell speaking at 12:20. Then we have FOMC Wednesday at 2 o'clock. There's no Powell speaking. It's just a simple little FOMC, but doesn't mean just because he's not talking doesn't mean it cannot run. In fact, I have noticed the ones where Powell isn't speaking ends up moving the most, which is kind of weird. But when Powell's speaking, you usually get 2 to 3 moves, and this one can get a nice 1 or 2 moves on this one. So it will still move without Powell. So they could be very, very hawkish. They could say, we were only counting on 50 basis points, but we're going to need to raise it 75 or a full point, and the market's just going to go bonkers. So watch out for that. And we got data on Friday, core PCE price index, and preliminary GDP on Thursday. So we've got some things happening this week. Also, the last full week of May, Memorial Weekend is next weekend, so people could end up taking off early. And just because people do take off early, the big hedge funds end up taking Friday off or something for a long weekend. That's when you end up seeing a lot of sketchy moves, is when no one's looking. So that could definitely end up being something to watch at. Now, the watch list, I'm not going to get too heavy into it because the bottom's not in. I've got this little marker right here at 350 on the weekly. This is a perfect area for SPY to bounce. This is where I think it's going. It's going to just keep shorting the bounces. I know Friday had a nice end of the day bounce on Friday, but all the green days are getting creamed. So green gone, green gone, green gone, green gone. I mean, we get this, every pop is getting annihilated. So I think the bottom's going to be at 350 or lower. I could be wrong, but that's my thinking. So with that said, the watch list, I got just a few things I'm watching for, same as the last couple weeks. I'll go over them in a minute, but right now, SPY, short the pops. I'll be looking at it underneath 385. It gets underneath 385. You can even see, not even say 385. You get to 387, and get for push to 380. And it's just open air. The 380 is the bottom of this wick on the daily and the weekly. So we got 375, 370. I mean, at this point, this weekly candle went from what? 408 to 380. That's almost a 30-point move on SPX, SPY, So if we end up having a red week, we could end up seeing 350 easily. 30 points at 389 will be right around the 360 area. So, but we haven't had a green week either, so we're going to keep that in account. So I don't think we're going to have a green week. I think FOMC, if we even have a green day Monday or Tuesday, I think we will have a strong green day this week, but I don't think it's going to end up probably being more blood. But I do expect at least one green day, one strong green day. That's why you're going to need to be in the room, because I'm going to base my decisions off from the overnight action and what I see pre-market. So it's going to be kind of hard to call levels when the market can go either way, but I'd watch it over 395 for push to 400 to 410, even 420. 420 would be a pretty big area for it to get over, say even 415, 420. So, but yeah, I'll be watching in both directions. And also, like I said, under 387 for a push to 380, 375 and lower. So definitely keep an eye on that. Market can still keep going down, regardless of what the RSI says. Another thing I want to point out is we have not had panic. These are panic candles. This is a panic candle right here, going from 333 to 385. And that's panic. We have not had really much of a panic yet. And when we start having panic where SPY ends up getting halted, that's when you know that things are really getting bad. The algos have been trying to, bounce a little bit here and there, but they just can't get any momentum. They just get crapped on as soon as they try to get a green candle, but keep shorting the pops until it doesn't work. So yeah, SPY both directions. Now, ones I'll be watching, if SPY does have a good day, NVDA will be one I'll be watching. I'd watch it over 170. It's 175 for a push to 180, 185 to 200. 210 is going to be a big area for NVIDIA. So that I think will end up having a good bounce. Sharp is another one that could have a good bounce. When I press the wrong ticker. There we go. Sharp is just getting annihilated. Had a decent day on Thursday, but I gave it all back on because of the market on Friday. But I'd watch it over. The good area to watch is probably over this 380 area right here. Then you get the 400, 405, 410. It gets over this 410 area. It could definitely go full of scab at 440, 450, 460. So Sharp could end up having a crazy day. I mean, look at this. It just was at 1760 and now it's down to 300. It's just 360. It's just crazy. I mean, it's just lost so much value. I mean, it's basically double bottoming down here from back at is this the COVID crash? Yeah, 2020. So I think Sharp could be a long-term play as far as like spreads and stuff. I could definitely see this kind of a week right here happening sometime soon. But I'm waiting to get into anything or add into any positions I have until probably 350, because we have rate hikes coming. We have a lot of things happening on right now. Like I said, QT tightening hasn't even happened yet. And once that starts happening, the market's really going to start nosediving. So, yeah, 350 is definitely in the cards. So that's Sharp. Let's see. We got, Facebook, Facebook could go lower, but, it's starting. It actually held pretty good Friday, but watch it over, let's see, 200, let's say 200 for push, 205. 210, 215. Get gap resistance right up here. We get a lot of resistance right here at the 235 area, 240. So Facebook, definitely be watching that. Roku, definitely want to be watching. Roku, just same as Sharp, just getting beaten down. It's starting to show a little bit of life right here on the daily. You get it inverted, the head and shoulders. You get the left, the right, left shoulder here, head, right shoulder. See it on the daily too right here. Left, mid, left, head, right. So watch it over 90, 99, 98. You could even say 98. Push to 100 and then 105, 110. And Roku has not had one of those crazy days. You get so many tickers that are so beaten down and so ready to make a move. And every time it starts to make a move, SPYs, sell-offs just kill everything. And so Netflix is another one. Just talking about the same couple stocks every week, just waiting for something to happen, and SPY's just going to end up keep killing it. But when SPY does have that good day, that's going to be a lot of stocks that could have potential big moves. And obviously NVIDIA, Sharp, and Roku. Microsoft is one. I'll bring that up next. But Netflix obviously is one. I'd watch it over 180, 190. We're pushed to 200, 210, 220. You get some air, but gap resistance right here at 245, 250-ish area. So likely reject that on the first try. And same with down here. I mean, I can't believe that Netflix is under $200. That's just so crazy to me. But it is what it is. Microsoft, I just said, keep an eye on that. Microsoft is, kind of held up pretty good. It does not like to be under this 250 area. But, Microsoft has room down here to the 230 area. So definitely can see go to 230 or even I can see right here the 244, 240 area is going to be a pretty big area for Microsoft. So Microsoft is definitely one when stocks end up finding bottom and the madness starts ending, which probably isn't going to be anytime soon because anything can happen with Ukraine and Finland and stuff like that. That Microsoft's probably going to be one of the top plays I look at, Microsoft and Shop. So yeah, Microsoft, watch over, just say Friday's highs of 250, 258 for push 260, 270, 280, 290, basically every $10. Where you get a gap resistance, right? You get a lot of resistance here at the 290, then you get 300. So Microsoft will definitely make a big move if the market does tend to have a green day. So that's why you need to be in the room. It's going to be a day-to-day operation. You cannot swing trade anything because right now things are low and cheap. And they can go lower and cheaper, a lot cheaper. I can't imagine Shop going any lower than what it is, but it can. It could go down to 200. I mean, what is it right now? 360. Why do I keep typing that? Why can I? Okay. Yeah, I just can't imagine it getting. But yeah, it can go down to 290. It's got room to 300. So yeah. Last one, Tesla. We'll have to see what happens with Tesla. And Tesla's got a lot of things going on with Elon Musk and Twitter and stuff like that. We'll have to see what happens with Twitter. Maybe, if the deal falls through with Twitter, which right now it just kind of seems like that's like a cat and mouse game. He's trying to get it cheaper and they're not liking that. The board's not liking it. So if something does fall apart with the Twitter deal, Tesla could end up probably taking off because it's selling off, well, mostly because of SPY, but it's also selling off because they're worried about Musk taking his eye off, getting distracted with Tesla and being more wrapped into the Twitter than his actual Tesla manufacturing. So that could end up being a huge rebound if that deal ends up falling through. So it won't be bad for Tesla. If anything, I think it'll be good. Because it's just a huge distraction in my opinion. But so yeah, I'd watch it over 700. I mean, what is it right now? It's 660. I mean, it's kind of high, but you can watch it 670, 700. It gets over 700, it's going to end up probably taking off 700 to 725, 750. Then you get this 760 area, 780, 800. Could definitely start seeing a strong day. I mean, look at the weekly. The weekly is just it's down in the buy area. So I think that if something does happen with Twitter, Tesla could end up bouncing. So Tesla, be watching that too. I don't like watching it on beginning of the week. It's just too expensive. At the end of the week, things start shaping up. I'll start watching it then. So that's going to do it for the watch list. Like I keep saying over and over, the economic events, the world events is going to play a huge factor into SPY's actions this week. So one news headline is going to change everything. I would think that we're going to have a massive short squeeze sometime this week, but who knows? We didn't have it last week. We just had no solid green days on SPY. So yeah, that's why you need to be in the room. Look at that. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red days, 7 red weeks for the last time we had that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 during the COVID crash. So, but these are moderately sells. This is not panic like this. So I don't know. We'll see. That's why you need to be in the room. That's going to do it. And thanks for watching.